Bow our heads. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, God, I thank you so much, Lord, for this and another day, Lord, that you've given us, God. I'm so thankful, Lord, for your wonderful blessings that you bestowed upon us today, Lord. We come to you now, Lord, asking that you bless this meeting, Lord, bless every item on the agenda, Lord, bless everyone in attendance, Lord. I pray, God, that you just bless this city, Lord, help it to nourish and grow, Lord. I ask all those things in your gracious Heavenly name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting, the special called meeting of Corbin City Government, June 21st, 5 o'clock, with a roll call, please.
Moore,
Here.
Reeves,
Here.
Knuckles,
Here.
Shepherd,
Here.
Rasmus.
Here. Do we have our runners all here yet?
Almost.
Okay. Is one of the, is he on both teams?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll just flag me down. All right, we're gonna skip over that. All right, first is to approve the May bills for payment.
I make a motion.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Approve the minutes from the May 16th regular meeting.
Make a motion?
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Ratify the mayor's signature on resolution 2022-6, a resolution that updates the proposed cost from $75,000 as mentioned in resolution 2022-3 to $250,000 for the recreation project using resources from the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
What you're doing there is just ratifying, we put the wrong amount on the last one. That's the total amount.
This is for the playground that we were playing.
Proposed playground.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we ratify the resolution.
Second?
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Next on the agenda is to hire Eric Bryant as full-time dispatcher effective 6/11/22.
Motion to hire Vermont full-time dispatcher.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Next is board appointments for the following: the Board of Adjustments, Barrett Freeman; City Utilities Commission, Bill Storms; Tourism Commission, Victor Patel; and the Corbin Industrial Development Commission, Nick Rowie. I need a motion to approve these.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointments to various boards.
Are these members that are currently serving?
There's one that's a new member.
Which one's new?
Bill Storms.
Who seat is that for? What seat's he replacing?
Terry Jo Martin.
What's the reason that Terry Jones went off the commission?
I just think after 22 years, it's time to, start putting different people on these boards. There's a lot of people that want to serve. We'll have another board appointment open in that board next year, so.
I certainly don't have anything against Bill Storms. I hate that Terry Joe Martin's coming off the board, because I think that he knows a lot about the City Utilities Commission. He's been there a long time. And as a reporter for the News Journal, I covered many meetings where he was a chair, and I think that he does an excellent job. He, when the public comes with concerns, he treats them respectfully. And I think he's always mindful of the people. I know when they had some issues, there has been some issues with customer service there. He was one of the ones that led the effort to have customer service training for City Utilities. So I really, it's a tough position because I hate to see him go, and I know he doesn't want to come off the board. But I don't have a thing in the world against Bill Storms. I respect him too. And I just wanted to say that, I just wanted to thank Mr. Martin for serving all those years. And tough position to be in, but understanding we do need change.
I think it's better to bring in some fresh ideas and some fresh perspectives, and I totally don't have anything against Terry Joe, and actually, you know, we'll have a board appointment in a year, and I told him that I would consider him again if he was still interested. I just think it's a good time to kind of start fresh, and, you know, Corbin's growing rapidly, so I think it's, I just thought it would be a good idea. I've got people that, like I said, that like to be on these boards, that have asked to serve, and I'm trying to respect that. Oh, and you know what? Nick Rowie is not on this board. Yeah, sorry about that. He is on the old Tri-County Industrial Authority Board that will be disbanding very soon because they don't have any land left.
Again, I'll make the motion to approve the board nominees.
Did we have a first and a second? Oh, okay, we got a motion. Y'all are getting to watch City in Progress, right? This is the way it goes sometimes. We've got boards that need to meet.
Can we do it one by one?
Yeah, we can do it one by one, that's fine. Board of Adjustments, Barrett Freeman.
I make the motion.
Second?
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. City Utilities Commission, Bill Storms.
Make the motion?
All right, that dies for lack of a second. Tourism, Victor Patel.
Make a motion.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Corbin Industrial Development Commission, Nick Rowie.
Make a motion?
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. All right, next, do we have them yet? Not yet. Okay, that's all right. Discuss and approve work comp policy for upcoming fiscal year.
Corey and I just met about an hour ago, and I'll bring that up at the next meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, there wasn't.
We have Kimi, and talking with our insurance agent, Steve Vaughn, they're the only company that will cover municipalities for workers' comp. And it went up $10,670.96.
Anybody have any questions about work comp?
It went up $10,670.96. The overall cost for the annual policy is $87,087.66.
There have been several years.
And they're the only ones who cover municipalities?
According to our insurance agent, yes.
Did we seek opinions outside of our insurance agent?
He sent it out to all insurance agents, and Keeney's the only one that came back.
I make a motion to approve the workers' comp policy for the upcoming fiscal year.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-7, a resolution authorizing the filing of House Bill 1 project grant application for up to $2,500,000 in funds for the Corbin Arena and the Corbin Center.
Resolution 2022-7, adoption of a resolution of the City of Corbin authorizing the filing of Kentucky House Bill 1 project grant application for up to $2,500,000 in House Bill 1 funds with the Department of Local Government, authorizing and directing the mayor of the City of Corbin to execute any documents which is deemed necessary by the LG to carry out this project, and authorizing the mayor to act as authorized correspondent for this project. Whereas the city of Corbin desires to promote and carry out community development efforts on behalf of the residents in the city of Corbin by supporting the House Bill 1 projects, and whereas it is recognized that House Bill 1 money is available to the city for the purposes stated herein, pursuant to 2022 Kentucky General Assembly House Bill 1 Budget Bill, impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the city and will require, among other things, approval of the satisfactory applications transmitted to DLG for approval, registration with Finance and Administration Cabinet to do business with the Commonwealth, and other obligations of the city in connection with House Bill 1, with receiving the House Bill 1 grant for monies of the purpose stated herein. Now therefore be it resolved this 21st day of June 2022 by the city of Corbin that a House Bill 1 project grant application on behalf of the city for House Bill 1 monies up to $2,500,000 for Corbin Arena and Corbin Center. Project shall be submitted to DLG. The city shall provide such additional information, furnish such documentation as may be required, and the city mayor shall act as authorized correspondent for this project.
I make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes. And I just want to say I'm very thankful to Senator Stivers for that $2,500,000 that we can retire that bond for the Corbin Center and actually City Hall, the old City Hall, Public Corporation, so. That was good. All right. I think we've got some runners here today, so I will stop our regular meeting in progress to bring up first the 2022 Corbin High School Boys 4x400. They broke a school record. Come on up and get your picture taken, guys.
How many of them you are? All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. Mark, thank you. All right, now we've got the 4x800, so you stay here, and whoever's the 4x800, you all get up here, so. State champions, woo! You worked so hard. Thanks, guys, for all your hard work. You make us proud.
See, that's the stuff that we can all agree on and we love to do, so we're super appreciative of you all working so hard and representing us so well. And you don't have to stay, but you can if you'd like.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, next on the agenda is to discuss and approve the request from the London Corbin Airport Board to increase their annual funding in the upcoming budget.
I'd like to recommend that we pass over both this and the next request from the Corbin Industrial Development Commission to have it go through its proper process within the budget committee before being voted on by the commission.
Do we need to vote on that, or can we just?
You all will need to make a recommendation to take it forward. Don't put it in the budget.
I recommend it go in the budget committee.
I think that what she's saying is there's no reason the budget committee, there'll probably gonna be some adjustments to the budget anyway. There's no reason you can't meet again and, you know, look at these and determine whether or not they fit in the budget, but I think the budget committee is the one that should sort of make those recommendations to us, don't you?
Exactly.
That
And,
makes sense.
yeah, and I also am under the impression that the budget committee would be meeting again. So that should be
They have time.
easy.
All All right, then we'll pass over the next two items on the agenda. And we are moving on to discuss and authorize City Attorney Bob Hammonds to take action on the following list of properties from Code Enforcement Officer Mike Watkins for demolition. We've got 603 6th Street, 5 Gillum Street, and 15 Fairview Avenue. We can do these individually or all at once, however you all want to do it.
Mike had brought pictures up. He had two sets, one for this side, one for that side.
Oh, you're gonna talk, Mike?
No, I mean, just want to know if you got, any questions.
Okay.
All of these have been taken care of by Bob, the legal part of it. So we're ready to get it out to get the court.
Sure these can't be fixed up?
I don't know about that.
It's a shame, isn't it? They look like at one point they were pretty houses, but they're gone.
Someone's dream.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to authorize city attorney to take action on these three properties.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes. Next is the city manager's report.
Insurance is the only thing I have.
And I guess everybody got a copy of, we've got each of the department heads sending the reports, so they've been doing a great job on that, department heads, appreciate it. Good communication.
All right.
So we'll move on to tourism, Maggie.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. So there's always so many fun and amazing things going on with tourism in downtown that I could stand up here and talk all day, but I'm not going to do that to you all. So there are two things that I wanted to discuss with the City Commission tonight.
Just in time.
You are just in time. Josh, at my cue, if you don't care to cut the lights, and then I'll have you cut them back on. So, Bob, it is awesome to see you as always.
I'm here.
It's been a Monday for sure, on a Tuesday. So in tourism, we have the Kentucky Department of Tourism, which is like the mothership under the USA Tourism Association. And then you have 9 regions in the state of Kentucky. We, Corbin, are part of an 18-county region called Daniel Boone Country. And then from the regions, you have all of the individual tourism offices. Well, we've been doing a lot of work as a region lately. That includes, in July, I'll be headed to Louisiana to promote and market to tour bus, buyers who are looking for places to bring the tour buses. We've been placing a lot of ads, but one of the exciting things that I just wanted to take 30 seconds literally to show you all is the new video that we just produced as a region that will be, that is currently playing in the Indianapolis market. So we're streaming this commercial through Roku, all the different streaming devices out there in Indianapolis. And I just wanted to show you guys, so if you'll hit the lights, I'm super proud of this. Yay! So that was done using our local company. Josh, if you'll flip the lights, the Hauler created. And I think it just goes to show the talent that we have in our region to be able, to promote the region. So the second thing that I wanted to speak to the commission on tonight, and I've actually taken the liberty to draft what would be a proposed ordinance only. This would, it's the exact same thing. So, in wanting to keep Corbin a progressive city that continues to grow and draw businesses into our city, and because the city, provides a natural host to community festivals and other events which cause fellowship and entertainment for the city of Corbin's residents and visitors, what I have handed to you is a proposed ordinance that would establish an entertainment destination center in the downtown city of Corbin. So essentially, what this would entail by ordinance would be boundaries. So I did a bunch of research with other cities and drew primarily from the city of Richmond and the city of Somerset, which are two cities that are close by, to kind of look at their ordinances and help to draft a proposed ordinance to you all. And Josh, if you don't mind to flip one or two of the lights. So essentially, the state of Kentucky, ABC, allows for cities to obtain an entertainment destination center license. And this would be for city events only, whereby businesses that are located within the entertainment district or adjacent to would have the ability to allow their drinks to come outside of the restaurant so that a patron of an event would be able to enjoy their beverage while experiencing the event. Now, the ordinance does specifically say, about licensing, as well as the beverage must be in a city-approved container, which would potentially and essentially be a clear cup with the business name marked on the cup to ensure that obviously we know there's a beverage in that cup and that it came from outside of a restaurant as opposed to a red Solo cup, if that makes sense. That they're not carrying their own, beverage around the event. And again, this is proposed, but the map basically would include from 7th Street, down Depot to Gordon Hill, down Main to Gordon Hill, and 6th, 5th, 4th from Main to Depot, and then proposed 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and Monroe from Kentucky to Depot. And just like with an approved beer garden during an event, you would need to place people to ensure that people do not go out of the confines of that entertainment area or district, so to speak. And that's a summation, essentially, of what the ordinance would be. So I wanted to bring that to you all tonight for consideration and discussion. Again, I just took liberty to put something together that modeled the research that I had conducted. Now, there's also, the potential that if a business wanted to set up, just like in the past, let's say, we had a local brewery that wanted to set up within the entertainment district and have, you know, a non-permanent location. This would allow them to do so, but they would have to apply for the, particular permit and license that is currently required for any beer garden.
I have some questions.
Yeah.
So I'm reading this, I've read it numerous times, but I want to make sure I understand it. Do you have to be in the area that's drawn out there? Do you have to be a licensee already within that area to then get this supplemental license so that you can sell during special events?
That is the understanding that I have. Yes.
So, okay, so it would only be restaurants or whatever that are down there now that have
Correct.
a license? So nobody from outside? So what if you had somebody like West Sixth Brewing that would come down for Lexington and set up for?
Well, that's what I was just talking about.
Okay,
Is about like.
they can still do that?
Correct.
Okay.
But there's another license, like a permit or license that they have to purchase on top of that to be able to be mobile.
Okay. Then the other thing is, it's only during specified events, so like for each event then, let's say, well, I see the other depots here, let's say the depot wanted to participate in Nibrock, for instance. So we said Nibrock's one of these events, and he would come to the city manager and ask permission for that event to do it, and he would be given permission to set up during that event, right?
No.
Now,
Is that, oh, I read that wrong? Okay.
that would go through the ABC, now in other,
It says you have to have written permission.
from the
from
city manager. So just like it is right now. So if any event wants to set up a beer garden, they have to have permission from the city to do that.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, during Oktoberfest, you know, I wanted to actually make it an Oktoberfest and allow people to serve special beer and be on the street. Well, I would have to, because you have to submit, I guess, a letter to the state saying that, you know, the city approves that event. So that's essentially, I think, you know, what that language means.
So I think I was under the impression that it would be up for the city commission to vote for
each
every event. Is that not the case?
I don't know what the
Could we put
current,
language in there for that? Just because there's certain events, especially ones like iconic, like Nibrock, for instance, that while I love the idea of an entertainment district, totally,
sure,
I would wanna have my voice heard for events like Nibrock. You know what I mean?
sure.
So,
Any
could we insert?
What you could do is list historical events, then any other event other than what's just.
Has to come before.
And the ordinance would have to come, get prior approval.
The way I read this now, you have to be a licensee there in the entertainment district, and then you have to purchase a special supplemental license to be able to sell during these events, and have permission from the city manager to sell down there. That's the way I read it, is that not right? Well, okay, so my other question is, not that I haven't, and maybe this doesn't matter, but why is it the city manager instead of like the ABC administrator?
And the city commission.
Well, I can almost understand it, maybe, I don't really care either way, but I guess that there could be a situation where maybe the commission doesn't need, or it would be unwieldy for the commission to have to approve like every licensee or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you would want the city manager and the ABC administrator just to say, well, yeah, they're legit, they can sell down there. So we would designate the event,
The event.
but
yes.
then they would decide, okay, well, you know, these, they're fine, they're legit, like they can sell down there, you know?
Right, and any of this can be, language can be modified. I just, modeled it after what other cities are currently doing.
But am I reading that wrong, Bob? Is that right? So you have
No,
to, you have to
it
be a
says
licensee there,
written
then get a supplemental
permission.
license, and then get permission from the city manager.
It says written
Well-
permission may be granted by the city manager after a determination that the requirements listed in this ordinance and 804 KAR 4
Look, it says-
7:370 have been met.
It says in B though, that the licensee holds a supplemental bar license for each non-permanent location, and the licensee holds written permission for these sales. And then C says written permission, so that means they have to have permission from the, then put this past the city manager.
As it's written there.
Okay.
Also, the way that I understand it too, these are for City of Corbin events. So like Austin City couldn't decide all of a sudden that they're gonna have a beer garden on Friday night and, you know, no. This is all City of Corbin events Of course, we want everybody to participate in these events, but that's kind of goes through the process.
That's why I recommended that you pick out, place in the ordinance, Nimrod, Oktoberfest, those as the historical, and anything above that, we would have to approve.
I like that idea. There are certain ones that always it's understood that we want this, and then everything else, we would have to approve the event. And then after that, when you get down to like individual licensees, I think to be nimble and responsive, it needs to be the ABC administrator or Mark.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused here. So Nibrock, I think, should not have alcohol. So that's why historically, I would want to vote on a historic event to not have alcohol. So we're taking that off of the table. So, okay, I think that it's important that, you know, that we respect, you know, the generations of children that have grown up with Nibrock. I just think that's just a,
Sure,
yeah, and I know you're fine with it.
yeah.
But there's all kinds of other events that we've got now that would be great for this, and we can plan future ones, you know?
Exactly.
So this just opens us up to all kinds of opportunities.
And that's a great point there. Part of the reason that I'm proposing the entertainment destination center is because as part of my position with both tourism and downtown Corbin, you know, my job is to support the businesses and help provide events that help them to, you know, grow and continue to be successful. And I think, you know, in staying at the forefront, being proactive instead of, you know, reactive, that this continues to show Corbin's progressive nature.
Right, and I obviously agree with anything that's gonna help our downtown merchants, you know. And for this overall, I think that this ordinance needs to be very, very carefully looked at and probably needs input from us on the commission and of course. But I know that this isn't the first time that this has come up. You know, I'd like to hear some of the feedback from the last time, was it a few years ago? That I know, Brandon, I think you were pretty heavily
COVID
involved
hit.
with
COVID hit it all.
this
There's
idea to begin with.
Yeah, COVID was definitely a big factor in all that, but one of the biggest criticisms that I had seen was the radius being too big. And so that's one of the things that I heard a lot of. And so if we do pass a zone, is there any way that, I mean, because it'll be up to the city's discretion anyways, right? The zone itself, even if we pass the zone, the city can still say this is where the actual zone is. They can still police it and make it smaller if they had to. Is that correct? Or do we need language that would indicate that? Like, for example, what about if we passed it, that was on Depot and all of this, and then we come back, we're like, well, maybe we should just do Main Street.
So it, and
You could amend it.
Yeah, I was-
Just by amendment.
And
Or you could increase it.
And I am concerned, and I've told you and
Sure,
Marlon both
sure.
about this, I'm concerned about the sidewalks going from, I don't mind the back of the building on, we're talking about and I'm sorry, I'm bad with north, south, east, and west, but on the left side of Main Street, those businesses, those are private parking lots in the back, whereas, you know, in between Main and Depot, those are our municipal lots, so I'm much more comfortable with that, but it does worry me. The sidewalks there, I just think that people will get confused if they have access to the sidewalks, but those people that own that private property are not gonna want somebody stepping off. I think it'll be too hard to police. I just feel like, and I understand Nibrock Park, I think that that's important to have Nibrock Park, but those other like third and second, I'm concerned about those two sidewalks.
Go all the way up.
That go all the way up. They could go to maybe the back of the building. I think that would be plenty far enough, but I think anything back there, we can't
Well, you have
see.
an alley going back all the way down through there.
That's just my input on that. I'm not too keen on that part, but everything else, I understand and I like.
Does this matter? We can obviously we can't vote on this today anyway.
No.
But, so we could take a closer look at it all together and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure we
just
can come up with
bringing it
something. I'm just wondering, in this version of the map, does it cross Kentucky Street? I can't see, I don't know.
No. It stops right at Kentucky
It
Street.
would
I was
be,
gonna say, is it which?
yeah, right
That's-
at Kentucky.
It'll be flat.
And it'll be the churches.
Oh, yeah,
If it
right.
crosses
No, it
Kentucky
stops,
Street.
it
Okay.
stops right at
As long as
Kentucky.
it stops.
One thing I think it needs to be added to it, and I've read some stuff since Maggie brought this to us, that we provide the cups with our name on it, and we also have some rules on it. And I discussed that a little bit with Bob.
Sell the cups.
Yeah, we sell the cups to the,
That's the way that we proposed it the last time.
Yeah.
And I think that should be, because I don't think the depot should have a cup and Austin City have a cup, because if we buy the cup, we're gonna use it for other events, so somebody's gonna come downtown and say, well, they let me have this. If it says the city of Corbin and we purchase it from you, it takes a lot of legality out of it, a lot of it out of it.
Here's one thing I'm thinking about. We just have to work out the details.
Sure.
You know, like, okay, what if somebody brings their drink back, that cup back? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They're not getting a free refill. It's like they have to buy it every time.
They
So
have
it wouldn't
to-
matter.
Yeah.
Have different cups for every event.
Right.
Different colors.
Yeah.
Red, white.
Do we need to though? If they're paying for it, you know what I mean? They're paying for
Just
it.
for that event.
But my thought was, I don't know why I was going to free beer. How crazy is that?
the city
I think it's 'cause I was
administrator
in
in Maysville,
Yeah,
they designate a different color cup every time they want.
well, and hopefully, you know, we won't have 1,000 blue ones and only, you know, run out of green ones. But anyway, we'll worry about that. The devil's in the details, Bob.
No, hey, that's for y'all to decide.
That's why you have a job, right?
I mean, y'all tell me what you can put in there, we'll put it in.
I have a
Yeah,
question on
okay.
that. I'm trying to help Maggie, and I understand what she's doing, because by the ordinance, like where they made 4th Street Live, it requires you can go up to 100,000 square feet, right? But you guys, you can alter any way. So like, just say, next year, if this approves, her pavilion's done, and we have a music festival downtown like Manchester does. And you can control all that, but that would be on you guys.
Right.
Somehow that we could block the streets off with a fencing during these, not those barricades. I think that's a bad idea. I think it needs to be like the arena has, bring some fencing and police. That way you guys can control it anyway. I think it would greatly help on it if we do it that way. But I know that you can go up and you can go down, cause Danville has it, right? And Danville, during their festival, they alter it during theirs, and they have, like, we have the beer garden with the music and everything, and they cut it down to a certain size section.
So you're saying that it's expandable or retractable depending upon that particular event?
Your guys' request, and that's the way that they do it in Danville, because it's the city. So just say, all right, you're doing an event, just say the car show, and we know it goes to 6th Street. So we just decide that we're gonna do 4 streets of it where the restaurants start. You guys have the ability, but I would write it in, cause it is wrote in Danville's.
What do you think about that, Maggie? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So really, I guess then, we don't need to detail exactly what this area is, because it would be determined each time we have an event. We would decide, okay, it's gonna be kept to this area,
It
right?
has to be detailed for the state.
It does?
Yeah.
But I
It
mean,
has
the
to be
larger
detailed, but
area
you-
that
yeah,
we
but you can
can,
control
we
it.
can decide for
We
each
can.
event exactly where it
That
is,
area.
and if we have any
That's what-
troubles, we just tighten it up next time.
That's when where y'all would need to approve every one of these events.
They'll just have to drive their cars down here to City Hall and do that.
I'm just saying.
I'm happy to do that, yeah, as we first.
I think we better control it. This is important. We better.
But it's gonna be a city function regardless, cause that's all you're applying for.
Right.
So you guys will have final say so no matter what,
Right.
cause it has to be approved, cause it's gonna be a city function.
Corey, what do you and Rob think about it? Obviously.
We'll make it happen.
Job security.
I think Corey and Rob need to sit in on it when we start off.
I think so, and I'm really glad to hear that this is getting brought up, because I think it will be good for downtown, for the merchants, for the city. And this is a really good place to start these conversations, but would like to see, you know, all of our first responders brought in and get some more input from the business owners like Billy.
I think maybe that if it does come and we get to do it, like prior to this meeting, like we have a meeting with the restaurants, everybody included, the police and everybody, that way we all are on the same page when it comes to it, cause that's usually the problem with the function.
Right.
One person alters theirs.
Right, right.
I like that.
I guess one of the only things that I wanna see in it too is just, like they were saying, to just being able to have the ability to restrict the area if we need to for different events, so I like that, so.
I do too, and really,
That helps that ordinance, if it's written in that manner, then that ordinance is gonna be good, we're not gonna be having to amend it, okay, now we need to add Kentucky Street, or now we need to take away Kentucky Street, you know?
Place it, you place it at the discretion of the city manager, President Corbin, his evaluation.
Okay,
I mean, there's 1,000 ways to do this.
1,000 ways, right.
But I like what Allison said, I mean, you all need to study it, because, I mean, we need guidance on what they want. Because, I mean, there's 1,000 ways to do this.
You know, with it being our first time, I think it should probably be carefully controlled at the beginning as well, so.
When was the first event that you would want this in place? I mean, we're saying not nip rocks, it sounds like you've got.
that's just me.
If you applied for it right now, it'd probably take 6 to 8 months, right, on mine, so it would be next year before we knew anything if we push it to the state. It takes them that long to go through to it.
If we write it like this, we could expand it to maybe
Yeah,
in front of the
probably
stage, you know, and still keep it just right there, so.
Anyway, all good stuff, Maggie.
Yeah,
Thank you
just
for the
wanted to-
research, and do you
Sure.
have something else that you wanna bring up?
No, I just,
Okay.
nope.
All right, thank you very much. Tracy, this is a special called meeting, so we can't take, comments from the public, but we're gonna adjourn, and you can, I don't know what you're here for, but you don't look very happy, so.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, all right, okay,
No, I had talked with Brandon, just,
okay.
I'm in a class and he just sit in and observe.
Oh, I'm all like, oh boy, here's Tracy, what's going on? Okay, special called meeting, we can't discuss anything else, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Mac.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Snuffle,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Francis.
Yeah.